Tonight is a special night at the White House. It's Donald and Melania's 20th wedding anniversary. 20 years is a long time, especially for Melania. This morning, Trump paid tribute to his longest-serving wife by reposting this AI image of himself with a lion.
Trump's not taking it too well after a late-night joke from Jimmy Kimmel. The comedian poked fun at his marriage, and let's just say it struck a nerve. Now Trump's steaming like a toaster on high. Will he let it slide, or will we see another social media meltdown? Or maybe Melania will give him that look, the one that says, "Not this again, grab your popcorn." This could get interesting.
I'm guessing he noticed a bunch of people posting about his anniversary, which remind him, oh, it's my anniversary. So he then reposted this sweet photo of Melania literally pushing him away from her.
Kimmel knows exactly what he's up to. He's been in the late-night game long enough to know that taking a shot at Trump doesn't just land a joke, it triggers a full-on media frenzy. So when he hit that stage, grinning like he just scored a comedic golden ticket, the audience knew they were in for something big.
Well, our president kept the crowd very warm at CPAC over the weekend. CPAC, if you're not familiar, is basically what would happen if Judge Jeanine Pirro headlined the Fire Festival. It's a lot of very angry white people. It is the largest gathering of people who believe vaccines are witchcraft in the world. And for 2 hours and 2 minutes, Donald Trump gave what I believe we may look back on as his I Have a Dream speech. This was his longest speech since taking office. He went on and on. You could have left this speech, watched 2 episodes of Game of Thrones, come back, and he would still have been going. And to kick things off, Trump went to one of his signature moves to start it. And I know there's a lot of competition, but I think this might be the dumbest thing he does. Who does that? Donald Trump shows more affection to flags than Eric and Don Jr. have ever gotten in their whole lives.
Kimmel knew exactly what he was doing. With decades of experience in late-night comedy, he understood that poking fun at Trump wasn't just about landing a simple joke, it was about setting off a media firestorm. When Kimmel walked on stage grinning like he had just found the comedic equivalent of a golden ticket, the audience braced for impact. They knew the real punchline was coming. And when it landed, it didn't disappoint. Kimmel started light, some playful jabs, and harmless teasing to warm up the crowd. But it was clear the real knockout was just around the corner, and then like a perfectly timed haymaker, he dropped the line. Has there ever been a worse host than Jimmy Kimmel at the Oscars? It was a direct hit on Trump's past. As the so-called less-than-average host who struggled to be anything more than an oversized caricature of himself, Kimmel wasn't just teasing Trump. Though he was taking aim at something much deeper, the ongoing saga of Trump's marriage to Melania. Kimmel didn't just drop the punchline and move on. Oh no, he doubled down. He dragged the joke out, poking and prodding it until the audience was on the edge of their seats, gasping for air between fits of laughter. Meanwhile, the cameras were busy scanning the crowd, capturing every reaction. Who was laughing too hard? Who was pretending they didn't just chuckle? Who was nervously checking their phone, just in case their Republican uncle was about to start texting them about this? It was the perfect late-night spectacle. And somewhere, Trump was probably watching, flipping through channels, just in time to catch Kimmel's line. A staffer may have texted him warning that Truth Social was about to go nuclear. No matter what, though, Kimmel had just made sure Trump's next 24 hours would be a whirlwind of angry posts and heated tweets. Classic Trump. Whenever a late-night comedian pokes fun at him, it doesn't just stay a joke. It turns into a full-blown media frenzy, making headlines, spawning viral clips, and igniting social media battles. And of course, Trump's response was inevitable. Would it be an all-caps meltdown? A rambling rant about fake news and late-night losers, or maybe a fresh conspiracy theory about how Jimmy Kimmel was part of a deep state plot to take him down? Regardless of the details, one thing was certain: Kimmel had just ensured Trump would react in the only way he knew how, through a barrage of angry social media posts and endless headlines. The Trump late-night comedian feud goes way back, far beyond his presidency. Back in the 80s and 90s. Trump was the flashy real estate mogul with the oversized ego and the perfectly coiffed hair. Comedians loved him then too, mostly because of his ridiculous wealth, bizarre media appearances, and of course that unforgettable hair. But back then Trump played along. He liked the attention. He even went on late-night shows laughing along with the hosts, enjoying the roast as part of his brand. Fast forward to 2016, and the dynamic changed. Trump was no longer just a billionaire in the public eye. He was now a politician, and the late-night jokes were no longer just about his hair and wealth. They became a war. Comedians like Stephen Colbert, Seth Meyers, and Jimmy Kimmel shifted their focus from playful teasing to sharp political commentary. Jimmy Fallon's infamous 2016 interview, where he ruffled Trump's hair in a failed attempt to keep things light, was a turning point. The backlash was swift, with critics accusing Fallon of humanizing Trump in a time when the stakes were too high. Fallon later admitted he regretted the moment, but the damage was done. Trump never forgot. Even after his presidency, he continued to attack late-night hosts, calling them unfunny, overrated, and part of the fake news media. Kimmel, in particular, became a prime target when Kimmel criticized Trump's policies. Trump fired back by attacking his ratings. If Trump wasn't tweeting about late-night comedians, he was ranting about them at rallies, turning their jokes into campaign grievances. Even after Trump left office, his grudge against late-night TV didn't fade. The jokes didn't stop. And as long as comedians had microphones and audiences ready to laugh at Trump's expense, they had endless material. Kimmel's most recent joke about Trump's marriage to Melania was no exception. For years, the Trump marriage has been a source of fascination, often analyzed as a cold, business-like arrangement rather than a love story. Late-night hosts, especially Kimmel, have made it a staple of their comedy. The joke hit a nerve because, let's face it, the Trump marriage has been fodder for jokes for years, from Melania swatting Trump's hand away on the tarmac in Israel to her icy stare during his inauguration. The moments have practically written themselves. Kimmel knew this, and he seized on it. The joke quickly went viral, with social media exploding in reaction. Fans were remixing Kimmel's joke on TikTok, while meme pages on Instagram resurrected their free Melania content. Trump's supporters quickly defended the marriage, dismissing the joke as another cheap shot from Hollywood. But for everyone else, Kimmel's line was a moment of pure comedy gold. As expected, Trump didn't take it well. He responded with his usual fury, calling Kimmel a third-rate hack and blaming the failing late-night industry for the joke. But in trying to dismiss it, Trump made the situation worse. His rant turned Kimmel's one-liner into a full-blown news cycle. Trump's supporters rallied to his defense, while late-night hosts turned Kimmel's joke into a multi-day roast session. The internet, of course, had a field day, turning the entire debacle into a meme factor. As the saga unfolded, the internet did what it does best. It made Trump the star of yet another comedy show, and late-night hosts scored another victory.